And hey guys, welcome back to the episode of the Dragon Ball Super 104 review. Sorry guys, I haven't posted in a while. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a review on Dragon Ball Super, and I deeply apologize for that. But I could have not missed doing a review for this episode, guys, which I have to say might be one of my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Super so far, guys. This episode was amazing. The fight scenes were incredible. The tag team, everything just about this about this episode was freaking amazing. And the hype did not fail. The hype was real. The hype lived up to its expectations for this level, guys. And let's get straight into this level. Dragon Ball Super Episode 104 review. The ultimate high-speed battle begins. Goku and Hit join forces. Guys, again, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. Maybe one of my favorite episodes of Dragon Ball Super so far. This episode it was intense since the beginning. It was pretty crazy, guys. All these fight scenes. And without the episode dragging on to other fights or talking, it started right with the fighting between him and a warrior from Universe 11, I believe it is. I'm sorry if I get that wrong. Universe 11 Dice Bow, which his ability is pretty amazing that he's able to not counter Hit's time skip, but he's even beyond that of Hit's time skip. Let's not forget though, guys, how Hit fights, he learns per his fighting. So he's able to evolve himself within the fight. So let's keep that in mind if you ever wonder why towards the end Hit was able to kind of counter Dice Bow's attack, was because exactly how, especially in the Universe 6 and 7 fight, the battle between Hit and Goku, Goku was able to go past Hit's time skip, that out, and he adjusted to his time and leaped to 0.2. So let's not forget, guys, Hit is able to adapt real time during his fights, which is amazing, which we saw in this level. I'm happy that they did that. So we see right in the beginning, Dice Bow has the advantage over Hit, and Hit can't even believe that it's happening. He's surprised that someone's able to not only stop his attack, but even hit him during Hit's doing his attack. It's pretty weird that for him that he's met someone to do that. So, and it was pretty amazing for that, guys. So we saw Dice Bow for the first couple maybe minutes or so of the fight, just hitting Hit like no one's business. Like, Hit is a non-fighter compared to Dice Bow, just because Dice Bow is so quick. He even says himself that he's faster than the speed of light, basically, is what he's trying to say. And while they're fighting, we just see the reactions of the different gods and even the angels, and everyone is surprised that this guy is not just beating Hit, he's making him look weak in this fight. And there's a couple things I wanted to point out. Vados is able to see everything that's happening. She just says she's like clearly not, she's not like 100% like not confident, but if you were to tell, she says that she could barely not handle. I'm sorry, guys. She's just not barely able to see. She can see what's going on, but she really needs to focus, which is kind of odd to hear that from models coming from an angel, that she's even having not trouble, but she has to concentrate more than what she needs to see this fight. And then, yeah, we see Beerus. Actually, I'm really surprised that Beerus could see everything perfectly fine. That one kind of threw me off of, made my mind think a little bit, because Champa was having difficulty. We just saw his reactions. Maybe it wasn't the fact that he couldn't see it, but just the fact that someone was able to counter Hit's attack. And Whis was able to see it perfectly as well. He had no issue. As he was explaining how Dice Bow was able to counter Hit's attack. But one thing I think everyone's going to be talking about is Zeno freaking out that they couldn't see what was going on. So I know this is going to start a big theory, big old chain. Oh, is Zeno really the greatest or the strongest? Because if he's the strongest and he's the king of above all, shouldn't he see hit and dice rolls movements with ease? So I know that's going to start some conversations going on, and I don't want to even get to that. I think they're just so excited that they're freaking out, like, oh my god, okay, mortals can move this fast. I'm hoping that was the case, that they were unexpected and they couldn't see it that time. But then the Grand Priest, I know people are gonna say, oh look at the Grand Priest sees him, so he's the best, he's the strongest. Let's not get into that argument right now. Let's just focus on the greatness of this level. Um, so we saw the guys, everyone's reaction, and I thought it was amazing. And from afar, we saw Universe 11, Topo, the little short dude, I forgot his name already, but Jiren watching the fight and kind of saying justice, all that stuff. And they're reviewing the fight going on. And then the little guys are like, yeah, this is an easy win for Universe 11. We're going to take out Hit, their ace player. And sure enough, Topo realizes, this is probably a couple towards the middle of the fight. Topo starts to realize that Hit is adjusting to Dispo's attack, and he's learning his attack. And what I thought was really interesting was that Jiren got a little mad. I don't know why that kind of piqued my interest, but maybe the fact that Jiren not, I don't think he wants to admit that there's guys that are learning per fight. So I don't think he's maybe seen that before, people adapting during a fight. I don't know, the little bad, like his frustration. I'm not sure if that's a big thing or we shouldn't make too much out of it, but I just thought that was interesting that what's it called, Jiren was getting upset for that. So as Topo sees that Dispo is having some difficulty now that he's falling into a trap, that he sends the little guy in as a backup guy, kind of like a tag team, 2-on-1 against Hit with Despo. I believe I'm saying his name right. Again, guys, if I'm saying his name wrong, forgive me about that. Just these names are really weird, so I'm not used to saying them too much. So we see the fight going on, tag team, and I like it and I don't. I mean, again, this is a win for all battle. You gotta do what you gotta do to win this. But I did like how in the beginning of the episode we did see the 1-on-1, and once the 2-on-1 started, we saw, okay, even though Hit was able to adjust his time skip, it's 2-on-1 against one of the top 5 people fighters from Universe 11. So we know, okay, as strong as Hit is, we even saw Vegeta and Goku having the same difficulty. Granted, they were in Super Saiyan mode, they weren't SS God form, but still, 2-on-1, that's never going to be a fair fight no matter who you are unless you start going full out. But as we saw, going as a preview, not a preview, but later on in this episode, that stamina and speed and saving your thing is a big priority. So we saw 2-on-1 happening, and then sure enough, not really a big surprise as we saw in the trailers or the preview, Goku comes back in his Super Saiyan God form, the red form, and that kind of freaked everyone out as well. Like, whoa, that's a surprise. I'm kind of wondering how Goku was able to achieve that form. Because as we know, this form is only achievable when he has 5 or more Saiyans with him and lends them their power. So, as we saw in the Battle of the Gods in the first series of Dragon Ball Super, that God form wears out because he didn't have enough power to do it anymore. So, I'm not mad that they didn't explain it, but it would have been nice if they would have shown how the Goku re-achieve that form, even though it's on a strong form. It is stronger than Super Saiyan, as we clearly stated. It's used for speed, not more than power. That's where God is. The Super Saiyan Blue form is used. That's a power, um, power form. So SS God Red, however you want to say it, is used for speed more and then power, and vice versa. Blue for power and speed, as we clearly stated himself. Um, so we saw Goku jump in the fight. I liked his entrance. I thought his entrance was pretty cool. So we saw them 2-on-1, and even Goku was gonna try to use instant transmission, and Dispo's even as not as quick, but he's quick enough to where Goku doesn't have the time, which just tells the speed of Dispo that he's freaking quick, guys. So that's pretty. It was pretty cool that Goku couldn't use instant transmission, so Goku had to adjust as well to learn Dispo's attacks. And then we saw Goku going back from the SS God Red form to Super Saiyan Blue, SS God Blue form, back and forth between speed and power, as he clearly stated. So, like Goku says, your speeds are impressive, guys, but your movements are too slow, linear. So it was cool that we saw Goku going back and forth between those forms. Um, I would have liked to see a little more tag team between Goku and Hit, because we clearly saw that between Universe 11's team. But again, these are not Goku and Hit don't fight together, so I guess I can understand why that wasn't part of the episode. So it was cool. So we saw the little short guy doing his little I forget his name. Sorry, guys. Um, his little energy webs, which is pretty cool. I like this technique that Dragon Ball Super is doing, where especially for this series, this arc, since you can't use weapons, that people are making their energy into their form of weapons, which is legal. Which I like that they're doing that a lot, as we saw in this episode. The little guy's web is not only used for bomb, like if you touch it, it explodes, but it's used for attacking, but also defending and helping his people. So when he's shooting his web, when he's shooting his web, it doesn't affect his own teammates. So he's adjusting the energy to help out. So I like that. I'm not sure if you guys noticed that, but I like that little what they're doing in Dragon Ball Super about that. I think that's really cool. So we just see a lot of fights, guys, and then Goku goes, I believe, Super Saiyan Blue, and he knocks off the little guy, um, going through the explosions. Which I don't know too much about the power of those little strings, but Goku he couldn't waste any more time, because we do know that SS Blue and SS Red does take eventually stamina out. So these fights have to be quick, even though they look long to us. These fights need to be quick because eventually they're going to be using their stamina or wearing out their stamina. So they don't want that to happen. So Goku just went for the ending blow in SS Blue, and he was able to knock down the little guy. Um, Kiyashin, Kensai, I believe that's the guy's name, Kensai from Universe 11. Goku was able to knock him out with the final blow. And we saw Dispo retreat, because he clearly understood that he was outmatched at that point if he was going to go up against go up against Hit and Goku. So what I thought also towards the end, which I was kind of hoping that they could finally get rid of this whole justice, was that Topo finally got mad, where he's like, okay, it's not about justice anymore. It's not about pride. It's about survival or eraser. Eraser. Okay, I'm saying that completely wrong. Live or die, basically, is what he's trying to say, because I cannot pronounce this word. So things are about to get down now, guys. I hope Topo. I have a feeling that Topo is gonna begin fighting Goku, but I think, and this is a future, guys. This is just my prediction. Vegeta is gonna just come back from behind and knock out Topo, and then go straight for him. Because I'm gonna say Goku's gonna have some trouble with Topo. He's probably gonna use SS Red a lot going forward. I think he's gonna save SS Blue for either Hit, or if Vegeta does not come out or whatever, if either hit or Jiren. I believe that's going to be the case. I don't think Goku's going to use SS Blue anymore. Maybe he'll use it a little bit against Topo. But that's the only 3 fighters I'm going to see Goku using SS Blue. Going forward, the rest will be either Super Saiyan or SS Red. That's my prediction, guys, going forward with the series going forward. So I'll be curious to know, guys. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Do you think we're gonna see Vegeta use a new form? This whole talk that Goku is using a new form, and I think it's been confirmed. I don't know. I'm only gonna believe it once I see it on the episode. Until then, these people, even though I know sometimes theories could go wrong, rumors, leaks could come out, but then those leaks don't end up being true. So I'm just gonna hold off to that until I see it with my eyes, guys. That Goku is gonna have a new form. But I'm wondering, do you guys think we're gonna see Vegeta having a new form in this series, or do you think Vegeta at his breaking point where you think it all is lost, that Vegeta is gonna unlock a new form? I hope he does, guys. I'm hoping Goku has too many forms that I don't think Toei and the guys at Dragon Ball Super can have Vegeta just can't go out without a fight. Even if Vegeta's the final 4 guys, I hope Vegeta has a new form. Personally, guys, I hope Vegeta wins it. I want Vegeta to be the star of this arc. And I want him to surpass Goku. I know people think that he hasn't. I think he has, personally. But again, we haven't seen these 2 guys fight, so it's hard to say. I'm totally babbling off now about different stuff going forward in the series. So I think we'll end the series, this episode review here, guys. Again, like I said earlier in the episode, Dragon Ball Super episode 104 has to be by far one of my favorite episodes so far in Dragon Ball Super, and not even in Dragon Ball Super, maybe Dragon Ball Z overall. Even GT. I like GT, guys. That's just a personal favorite of mine. I know it's not the best, but I don't bash it like everyone else does. But 104, man. I know 105, this next week's episode, is going to be okay just by the previews. It's going to be a Master Roshi episode, just like we had that Krillin episode. Okay, whatever. I'm not looking too forward to that one. It's going to just be, okay. I'll do a review for that one. But Dragon Ball Super 104 is going to rock. And I believe 106 is going to rock as well, guys. So I hope you guys like this review. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this review. What did you guys like? What didn't you like? And what are your previews and your thoughts for next week's episode? Do you think we'll see any glimpses of fights to come? Or what you're not interested in seeing next week? Let me know in the comments as well. And as always, guys, thank you guys again for watching the video. I appreciate that. Give the video a thumbs up if you guys like. Subscribe to the channel. And until then, guys, we will see you next time on our review of Dragon Ball Super. Peace out.